Production funding for Flying Squirrels and Cider is made possible in part by
Clean water is one of our most valuable resources. Conserving it should be all of our responsibility. Remember every day to make every drop count. Wash full loads, take shorter showers, turn off your faucet. Water, use it wisely. Let's commit to conserve.
Get ready for another action-packed and clean-cut episode of Flying Squirrels Insider. Jay and Sam will catch you up on the action from the field and the familiar faces returning to Richmond. Next, we visit Conn's Cuts and meet the Squirrels pitcher that likes to work at a good clip to keep his teammates looking sharp. Then, we ask the question, beard or no beard? And catcher Jeff Arnold visits FSI Field to talk about his role on the team and share some tips for working behind the plate. It's all coming up on Flying Squirrels Insider.
And welcome back to Flying Squirrels Insider. We got a whole lot in store for you on this show as we are back in studio, and we're going to welcome in Flying Squirrels veteran catcher Jeff Arnold along with Mike Connolly as we learn a skill set that you might not know he possesses. But first, before we dive into how the Squirrels have fared, believe it or not, almost halfway through the 2018 season, we'd like to thank our friends at Utility Buddy from the City of Richmond Department of Public Utilities and make us aware of Richmond's natural gas safety program. If you cook or heat with natural gas and you live near a natural gas pipeline, if you expose or cause damage to a pipeline, no matter how minor it might seem, call 646-7000. Also, text us as always to win free stuff. Text FSI to 63975 with message and data rates applying. Mobile services provided by Opt-in Technologies. With that said, I'll bring in my broadcast partner Sam Ravitch. And Sam, about halfway through the season, the Flying Squirrels entering this weekend 4 games above 500 and right there behind the Akron Rubber Ducks, still in second place in the West.
Yeah, Jay, the Squirrels have kind of been right around 2.5 games back from the Akron Rubber Ducks, but this is really the first time in a long time that the Squirrels have had a winning record this long ahead in a season. And it's exciting to watch. It's exciting baseball, and hopefully they can continue to tread water and even do a little bit better.
How about some exciting games for the Flying Squirrels? 4 walk-off winners already this season. Richmond played a stretch of games at the start of June that were all decided by 1 run.
Yeah, 7 games decided by 1 run early on in the month of June, including 4 in a row. And it was just crazy to watch how the Squirrels were able to fare in those games. And when you have close games like that, 1-run games, it's really crucial to have guys at the back end of your bullpen that can close out games for you. And the Flying Squirrels have that. You can go down there. You got 3 guys like Dylan McNamara, Caleb Simpson, and now you're seeing Will LaMarche kind of emerge himself as one of those back end of the rotation in the bullpen kind of guys. And no, the 1-run games are kind of a toss-up, but you would like to have a winning record in those.
Before we get to Dylan McNamara, and we will talk about him on this show, the Flying Squirrels winning earlier this week against the Portland Sea Dogs 3-0, completing their 5th shutout of the year and doing so with 16 strikeouts, just shy of a franchise record. Yeah,
those 16 strikeouts, the most strikeouts for a Flying Squirrels team since 2012. And, you know, you get a lot of swings and misses, but when you have the pitchers that the Squirrels have and the velocity that's coming in with Will LaMarche throwing 96 miles an hour, Dylan McNamara coming in at 94 with that wipeout slider, and then you get a great start from a guy like Chase Johnson who, can rack it up to 94 consistently. So it's easy to get a lot of swings and misses there.
Yeah, the Flying Squirrels had 18 strikeouts in a game in 2011, as you can see the graphic there. Chris Heston and Eric Surkamp were guys that started those 2 18 strikeout games years ago. So certainly in good company, the Flying Squirrels with that 16K performance. All right, we've mentioned his name a couple of times, Dylan McNamara. Who is he? Where did he come from? And what is he doing for the Richmond Flying Squirrels?
Well, that's a good question. You know, a guy that started his organizational career with the New York Yankees and then was traded for basically a player to be named later.
Yeah.
I mean, really nothing for Dylan McNamara. And now all of a sudden you're seeing him, I think, in a role where he's going to flourish at. We saw him kind of be put into the starting rotation last year. Didn't exactly work out. He struggled with the command for whatever reason. You work on something in the offseason. It may just be something as little as where you stand on the rubber. he's a different pitcher right now, and I think you're seeing that with the velocity, with the amount of strikes. So he's able to work the strike zone, and that curveball just has a little bit more bite to it, Jeff.
Yeah, a little bit of a cut fastball as well. And in fact, when we returned to Trenton, where McNamara was last year before the trade, I was telling all the Thunder and my former coworkers, hey, wait till you see him out there on the mound. They said, really? I said, yeah, because he hit 97 on the radar gun in Reading earlier that week and certainly has solidified himself in the back end of the bullpen. With that said, the Flying Squirrels have actually added a couple of players. You might know some turnover on the roster. Some guys that have really a familiar name for Flying Squirrels fans, including C.J. Hinojosa as he makes his way back from San Jose and from suspension.
Yeah, C.J. Hinojosa is a guy that was an all-star shortstop here a year ago for the Flying Squirrels, played in the all-star game. And, you know, I think when it comes to C.J. Hinojosa, you think about a guy that is great with a glove, doesn't strike out all that much, but, you know, he's kind of put himself back a little bit, and he'll admit that to you as well with some off-field stuff. That 50-game suspension really set him back a little bit, and now Ryan Howard is here, and Hinojosa kind of has to work his way back into the starting lineup, but, you know, he's a guy that has a great bat, a great glove up the middle, and, you know, again, is an all-star shortstop here at this level.
Yeah, the Flying Squirrels swapping out shortstops. Ryan Howard placed on the disabled list with a hamstring issue, nothing too serious. Hinojosa taking over that role. Squirrels also welcoming back a guy that began the season with Richmond, but was also placed on the disabled list in Jonah Arenado. Good to see him back in the lineup for the Squirrels.
Yeah, Jay, he's young, but he's got a great glove over there at third base. And I think, you know, you're seeing a couple of errors early on this year, but, you know, he makes some plays over there at third base that I don't think many players can make, especially when he comes in, he barehands that ball and he throws across the diamond, across his body. He also carries a great bat, too. He's been working really hard with hitting coach Francisco Morales, continuing to try to get better every single day. And it takes time. I mean, Jonah's only 23 years old, and you know, I think he's got a really bright future for a guy that the Giants plucked out of high school.
And tough for him because he was getting into a rhythm, then suffered an injury, a shoulder sprain, had to miss about a month's time, and now trying to get back into that rhythm. All right, finally here we'll discuss the pitching for the Squirrels. We've talked a lot about Sean Anderson and some of the others. One we haven't talked a whole lot about is Garrett Williams, and we think he's maybe turned the corner.
Yeah, I think so. You know, Garrett Williams is a guy that came in with really high expectations, moved through the system so quickly. He was only drafted 2 years ago, back in 2016 in the 7th round, and really wasn't that much of a pitcher. But when he comes out and he goes back-to-back 6 innings with a bunch of Ks, the walks are still there, which is a bit of concern. But, you know, he's starting to live up to that number 7 prospect ranking that he came in to the 2018 season with.
Yeah, last 2 starts, a combined 12 innings, only 1 run, 11 strikeouts. And for Williams, he had struggled to get out of the 3rd and 2nd innings. So to see him go into the middle innings and beyond, certainly a positive for him. All right, lastly, Jerry Sands. We knew it was going to come around for him. Jerry coming with the batting average up to 235. It was below 200 at one point, so good to see him getting back on track.
Yeah, you know, 10 home runs. Jerry leads the team. It's great to see him really start to get his bat going with things. And, you know, he's a guy that very well could make this Eastern League All-Star team, too, with just about a month away.
8-game hitting streak as we go into the weekend for Jerry. Sam, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
All right, more to come here on Flying Squirrels Insider. As I mentioned, we've got Jeff Arnold joining us in studio a little bit later on. But first, Squirrel versus Squirrel, round 3. It's time for Squirrel versus Squirrel. Arm wrestling, round 1.
I can do this all day.
Round 2. Round 3.
Come on, ref.
Your mustache is looking great, man.
Well, once you told me I was going to be on TV, I had to make myself look as good as I could.
For Mustache May, too, right?
It'll probably go on the back burner once May's over. But
So when did this begin for you, man? Like, when did you start cutting hair in general?
well, I went to college, and my parents got me just a subpar clipper set.
Right, like the Walmart type?
Yeah, just a Walmart brand. They're like, you know what? Maybe be able to cut some teammates' hair up at school. And it started off by just shaving some heads.
Yeah.
And before you know it, like, guys were being, hey, I'll be your dummy.
Okay.
I'm like, okay. As long as you know, no expectations. And I mean, before you knew it, I was just doing everything. It's been no pressure zone because every guy that I cut their hair, they're like, okay, well, if you screw it up, then we'll just shave it.
All right.
So it's like, all right.
So that's the play here today, Caddy.
Yep.
If we screw up.
Is that cool with you and your wife?
Hey, I trust you, Con.
Now, Caddy, you've seen some of his work on some of the teammates, right?
Seen some pretty big cuts so far this year. Saw one yesterday that I didn't think I'd ever see.
What was it?
Dylan Dobson, one of the best faux hawks I've ever seen.
I've done pretty much every kind of haircut you can think of.
Yeah?
Back in college, I had a buddy who was a little over the top, I guess you could say. And he said, put a shooting star on the side of my head.
When I was a kid, I wanted I used to get my head shaved. Like, that was my thing, right? To get head shaved. I went through a bowl phase, which no one told me like that was the worst thing you could possibly do, like when I was in elementary school.
Yep.
And I had Bo shaved into the back of my head. I was a huge Bo Jackson fan.
No way.
Yeah.
It's a tough look, Jay.
That's
I know.
tough. Well, and then another kid, he was like, why don't you put a baseball on the side of my head?
Okay.
And I'm like, all right, let's give it a try. So obviously you need to have seams.
Right.
So I just kept like 2 strips of hair at an angle and then just shaved the hair around it. It looked pretty good.
So you got a baseball, a shooting star.
Yeah. Those have probably been the most gnarly.
You know, when we go on the road, I know this from my experience. Obviously, like my hair, this is the number one asset that I have, right? As a TV guy.
Show hair.
So I can't trust this, XYZ generic clips in Bowie, Maryland with this bad boy, right?
Can't do it.
So I think for the guys, right, I mean, like, they know what they're getting from you, and they don't have to go off and find a place to get their haircut on the road.
That's why I do it, just convenience. Guys can just kind of come off the field and be like, hey, cut my hair real quick, and if I'm not doing anything, then I'll bang it out real quick.
Yeah.
But what I usually do, well, don't tell anybody, but what I usually do is guys will be like, hey, can I get a haircut? And I'm like, yeah, tomorrow. And before you know it, you got 7 days worth of yeah, tomorrows. And then I have everybody lined up. Because it's like,
You do it all at once, right?
I don't know, yeah. Seeing as it's a voluntary thing, cutting hair every single day gets tough.
Now, have your parents let you do their hair?
My dad, every time he comes into town, he's like, hey, I need a haircut.
Touch me up, man.
Yep, that's it.
Well, who's the most famous person? I mean, you've been doing this a while now. Have you cut any big leaguers' hair?
I think I might have cut Susak's hair before.
All right, big leaguer.
That was
All right.
a long time ago, though.
Kyle Crick? No, never got.
Crick, yeah, actually.
What'd you say is more important for guys? Caddy, you've been around players a long time. Clothing, hair, shoes.
Ooh.
Ooh.
For me, that's an easy answer. It starts with the shoes.
It does?
You can add anything to the outfit, but if you have a nice pair of shoes on, you feel amazing.
Guys are temperamental. Like, you'd think, like, oh, they're just dudes. Like, it's gonna. They want to look at. Yeah, Conley, I know you're a shoe guy, right?
I'm a shoe guy.
Yeah.
Ever since I was young, I was into the Jordans. And my mom, all through middle school, everybody used to make fun of me, probably because they were jealous, but it was like every week I came to school with a new pair of shoes on. But I'll always be a shoe guy, that's for sure.
How many pairs do you have? I know.
Oh my gosh. My fiance's trying to get me to get rid of most of them.
Yeah.
It takes up too much space in the closet. But
let's change it. How many do you have in your Richmond apartment that you have with you? Or did you bring them all with you?
no, I can't bring them all. That's a whole separate bag. Let's see. 5 on the top shelf, 4 on the floor. 2 pairs of sandals. And then in my locker here, I got about 6 pairs.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's not so bad, is it?
It's not bad, no. Caddy, you're looking good, man.
I appreciate that.
You weren't nervous at all, were you?
Not at all.
You can be honest.
Yeah, I mean, it's a former catcher. He's got to be good with his hands.
Yeah. Good with his hands, good decision-making skills.
Yeah, I mean, that's all you want in a
the
barber.
leader of men. I would venture to say the finesse that I'm seeing here on the haircutting translates to the baseball field. Yeah?
Yeah, it might be. When you don't throw 100 miles an hour, you need some finesse in your life. You want me to knock down the beard at all?
What we got here?
It's up to you.
We can brush it out a little bit to see what it's at.
It's like a Tyler Horan style beard.
Oh, man. Tyler Horn. We're from the same hometown.
Are you really?
That is right, yeah.
Played Little League together.
Really? Same age?
Yeah, he was a grade above me.
That's awesome. Good dude.
Yeah, he's a great guy. He was a really, really good high school football player.
Yeah. You see that.
He was a fullback linebacker. I'm sure you can picture that.
Yeah.
I went to one of his games. He ran a guy over.
You truck him.
He ran a guy over. He jumped over a guy. I'm like, and he's going to school to play baseball? All right, what do we think, everybody?
Yeah.
Is that it?
This is gonna be the best Molly Maids look ever.
Oh,
Might
yeah.
have to go no wig tonight.
So
Show it off.
explain to me the whole Molly Maids thing.
It started with all guys back before I got here, 2011.
Really?
And then it kind of transitioned. Now this is 3rd year doing it, yeah.
Good?
Perfect.
Good deal.
Wow. Look at that. All right, I'm up.
You're up. Here we go.
All right, Connolly. Not too much off the top, but, you know, make me look sharp.
Whoa!
Well, we continue here on FSI. We are joined now by my man Jeff Arnold here in our WCVE studios. Jeff, thanks for joining us. Thanks for coming today.
Yeah, thanks for having me out.
It's great to watch you play because I love the way and the aggression in which you play, and also how you're a leader on the field and both off the field for some of the younger Flying Squirrels and some of the older ones as well. But what's it been like for you coming in now? You've played quite a bit of baseball and pro ball, but what's it been like to kind of be a mentor for some of the younger players on the Squirrels team?
It's nice to have people look up to you. At least I think they do.
Well, they call you coach.
Yeah, they do. They do. It's fun. I like to help the guys as best I can. I have a little bit of experience, which helps. I've been around. This is my 8th year in pro ball, so I try to use the mistakes I've made so they can learn without having to make the same mistakes themselves.
Now, you've been injured a couple of times. Going back to your 2014, 2015 season, what's it been like? Because, it doesn't matter if you're a catcher, you're a pitcher, you're playing the outfield, the infield. You're going to get injured at some point in the game. But what's helped you the most coming back from an injury? What have you kind of leaned on?
A couple things. Really, my faith. Just I know that my faith in God. I know that there's going to be trials and things in this world, but I just believe that hopefully some good can come out of it. And then my family. My wife has been there. She's been the whole 8 years. She's been by my side. We haven't been married that long, but she's been with me the whole ride. And my parents too. Not once have they ever said maybe it's time to move on. Never. Even though we've had those thoughts. I know I've had those thoughts,
Sure.
But they've always been by my side the whole time.
And I'm interested too because there's a lot of talk. We have plenty of long bus rides going up to Hartford, to Portland, over to Akron. And you're sitting in the back of the bus, looking out the back of the bus on the road, and it's a long trip, and it can be lonely at times. And I'm sure there's some thoughts that go across your head, and many other players. But obviously you've had that support staff to lean on. What have they told you over the course of your career?
Just that they believed in me. Like I've said in the past, everybody that gets drafted is here for a reason. They can do something, whether it's play great defense, they can swing the bat. It's just working on those weaknesses in our game to try to get to the ultimate goal of making the big leagues. So, and sometimes it's not easy to believe in yourself when you're struggling. So it's really just they believe in me, and that confidence. Hopefully, I can reflect that on the field.
Now, you had a walk-off hit the other day, and you said that Mike Conley give you a nice haircut before you got that hit, and also Matt Lipka too. So Conley's cuts improving, helping the team?
Yeah, we love Conley. We just found out yesterday he gets to go up to AAA, and we're happy for him. We're going to miss him a lot. We're going to miss all the hits he gives us through his haircuts, but we wish him the best of luck up there.
Now, also, Jake McCaslin received a little bit of a shave, and there's a little bit of controversy as to whether or not he looks better with the beard or without the beard. Your thoughts?
I think he looks good. I'm a clean-shaven guy for the most part myself, but I know he was a big fan of the beard. I guess he thought it made him look a little more fierce out there on the mound. I don't know what his deal is, but he looks good, and he threw well without it the other day. 5 scoreless, I think.
He sure did. So Jeff Arnold says that Jake McCaslin looks better without the beard. Coming up next, we will see what the peanut gallery thinks about whether Jake McCaslin wants the beard, doesn't want the beard. We also will see what's coming up at the Diamond, and then, a lot more as well with Jeff Arnold here. Going to be teaching us a little bit how to toss a mask when you see a pop-up behind home plate. Thanks, Jeff.
Yeah, no problem.
I prefer him with a beard. Looks pretty intimidating out there, but he's a pretty good-looking dude. He did it for a good reason. Caleb Simpson, I don't think he's ever grown his hair out, so they made a bet that Caleb Simpson can't shave the top of his head anymore, and all Jake had to do is shave his beard, which I don't think he's cut for probably over a year or so.
With the beard or without the beard?
Without the beard.
Without the beard. Why?
He looked young.
He does look a little younger, doesn't he? Beard or no beard? What do you prefer?
No beard. It reminds me of when he was a rookie.
Jake McCaslin, beard or no beard?
No beard.
Beard or no beard?
No beard.
No beard. Why?
He's pure. He's a pure human with no beard.
I think he's got more of like the rugged look, obviously, but
Good looking, isn't he?
he's dashing.
Like, wow, there's a good looking human behind that thing.
Beard or no beard?
No beard. No beard. Looks better that way.
You think?
Girls love him like that.
Is that what the fans are saying?
Absolutely, yeah. Girls love him.
Do you prefer the beard or no beard?
Oh my God, no beard.
Beard or no beard? What do you prefer?
Ooh, beard.
Beard or no beard?
Ooh. See, the beard makes him look tough. But then again, he looks good without the beard.
Yeah.
And he's been throwing well without the beard.
Throwing well trumps anything else, right?
100%. 100%.
What about Caleb Simpson with long hair?
That might be tough to look at.
Beard or no beard? Which do you prefer?
Probably the beard, for sure. Yep.
You feel a little naked?
Yeah, well, I did for a week, and then now I feel normal.
How do you think you're going to look with longer hair?
Well, I haven't seen my hair in 12 years, so I don't know. I don't know if it's curly, if it's straight, or what it looks like.
What color is it?
I have no idea.
Can we get a little taste?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, hopefully it's not red like my beard, because then the bet's off. I'll pay Jake $50. 'Cause that's what it was. If I shave my head before the end of the season, I owe him $50. So if my hair's red, it's coming off.
If it's that bad, I'll pitch in.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Okay. All right, we're back here at FSI Field. I've got catcher Jeff Arnold and Sam Ravitch. And Jeff, I'm going to have you take us through some of the steps on a pop-up off the bat of a batter. So first, maybe you can tell us sort of how you set up defensively to get things going.
Yeah, to start, so the mask will be on. Depends if somebody's on base or not, but if nobody's on base, I'm nice and relaxed. I'm low in my stance. I'm trying to give a low target to the pitcher. We want to work from the bottom of the strike zone up because it's a lot easier to catch the ball high than it is the one down. The down one will take you down, your glove down into the ground. But if somebody's on base, I'll be a little higher, whether I have to throw.
To try and throw out a steal.
Or block somebody if they throw it in the dirt.
Gotcha. Now, what if I'm swinging here and I pop the ball up? What's your first
The pop-up, it looks easy.
Reaction?
It looks easy, but the first step is always to find the ball. So I'm going to take the mask off, find the ball wherever it is. And this is one of my favorite plays because it's one of the rare times a catcher can dive and make a play. So you take the mask off, find the ball. Once you find the ball, you want to turn your back. I'm going to turn my back to the camera to the infield because the spin on the ball when someone pops it straight up it's always going to take it back towards the field of play.
Okay.
And it's a lot easier to make a catch this way than it is the Willie Mays style.
Yeah. Okay, so say, for instance, you're trying to track the ball in foul territory, right?
Sure.
And you're there with the mask, and then you finally decide that you need to get rid of it.
Yeah.
What's the art of the toss? If you
Art of
would?
the toss is
Yeah.
just don't get it under your own feet and don't hit any of your teammates. So
That's it. Those are the two rules.
exactly.
Okay.
You know, the first baseman, third baseman are converging, and I don't want to trip myself up either. So find the ball, say I finally feel like I'm underneath it, then I can just get rid of it, make the catch, and then turn to the field and see if there's any other plays going on.
Now, you use an old kind of school mask there. What about some of the newer kind of hockey style masks? Is it the same thing?
I think it's the same thing. That one's
Okay.
just a little lighter, a little easier to get off.
a little easier spin
I
on
think
it.
it looks a little better, personally.
Have you ever tossed it where maybe you shouldn't have? Or?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think even this year I threw it right in one of my teammates, right under their feet. They made the catch, but it was close.
Yeah, so you could certainly hurt somebody.
Oh, sure.
So don't toss the mask anywhere close to your teammates or the field of play. And certainly, Jeff, we appreciate you for taking the time today and looking forward to watching you for the rest of the season. All right. That's going to do it for us here on FSI Field. Flying Squirrels tossing masks all over the place. In second place, as we mentioned, in the Western Division, back at home this upcoming week. We hope to see you there. For Jeff Arnold, Sam Ravitch, Cons Cuts. How about Jake McCaslin's beard as well? Check it out at FSI and FlyingSquirrelsBaseball.com. Till then, my name's Jay Burnham saying so long, everybody.
Production funding for Flying Squirrels Insider is made possible in part by
Smell gas? Act fast. Don't just stand there. Leave the area. Get out. Go where the smell is no longer present and call 911. Making you aware, keeping you safe. We're Richmond's Natural Gas Safety Awareness Program.